Hello world and welcome to Web Dev Frontiers. My name is Tamas and I'm here to share my experience in web tech with you. In today's video, I'm going to continue the tradition of reviewing watchmakers' website. And today's choice falls on Rado. Rado is a Swiss watchmaker based in Langnau, Switzerland, and they've been established since 1917. And they started off as a watch parts manufacturer, and then later on they shifted into being a full-fledged watch manufacturer. So let's take a look at their website. So Rado's website is rado.com. So let's go there and see what we get. Okay, so the page loaded relatively fast, I think. We have a redirect to the Singapore site, so they already know that I am in Singapore, so they were able to find that automatically, which is great. Otherwise, I could set another selection here. And they are also marking the countries where you can make online purchases from, and unfortunately Singapore is not there, so we'll probably change to another website to test this feature out. And then let's see what we have here. So gift ideas. This seems to be moving, maybe a bit too fast for my liking, but it's okay. And then we get warranty information and the usual stuff that you would see on a watchmaker's website. Skeleton watches, okay, different categories, and some marketing articles, and then the footer. All right, so let's do this. First, why don't we try to find a watch and see how that page looks like? So let's maybe go into the collections here. And all right, here are these watches. You can have a filter, only show the watches that can be personalized. Maybe we'll check that. Otherwise, you have some filtering criteria here for case color, shape. I'm not sure why these look disabled first, but maybe it just means that they are not selected by default, I think. But I have a feeling from a UX perspective, this tells me that I can't click on this particular filter because it's grayed out, and that's usually a sign for something that is disabled and unavailable. Okay, but let's look at this watch, shall we? Okay, we notice you're in Hong Kong, but trying to visit our website from Singapore. Nope, that is incorrect. So I'm not sure where they are getting that from. I'm not using any VPN or anything, but I want to stay on the Singapore website. Okay, so I can buy online on Lazada. I can reserve this online, find a store, view full details. Okay, so I can read more about the watch. So I can find the information about the watch, which is great. Pick a few straps, awesome. Download the warranty and download the user manual, and this is the most recent watch that I've seen. Okay, but let me, okay, so actually you have a gallery here, so we can actually see some images of the watch. I have to say the website is a little bit sluggish, not slow, but it definitely doesn't feel fast. Like I have to wait maybe a second for each of these images to load. Okay, and I can also click on the images and I can zoom in quite a lot. I think that's quite a neat feature. So we can look at the case back as well. So we can get a feel for the quality of the watch because these are very, high resolution images. Okay, so let's see what happens if we find a store, shall we? Just like previously, like IWC, we are redirected to store.rado.com. But at least it seems to remember that I'm in Singapore, but it's also showing me boutiques from Malaysia, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Okay, so I think, okay, well, it's reasonable to say that maybe 300 kilometers away, it's okay, but that's a different country, so I'm not sure why they would bring that up. Otherwise, I can filter for all the other countries. And I forgot to zoom in on this for you, so apologies. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, what happens if I click on locate? Then it just brings up a map, and now I can, okay, explore these. Okay, awesome. What happens if I would like to reserve this online, for example? Please enter your contact details. So I get to enter my contact details, email, phone number, address, postcode, city, and then it would just reserve it now without a prepayment. Okay, that's interesting, but I guess that is a business decision right there. Okay, so let's actually try to find a website where we can make an online purchase just to see what happens. So I'm going to switch to United States. And I'm not going to go to United States because I hit a 404 here. I think that's because the same watch is not available in the United States. So maybe they should work on this redirect because that's not really a good experience. But again, let's go to Captain Cook and let's click on this watch. All right, so I can now add this to the cart. Go to cart. And I get a flower power candle as a gift as well. Awesome. And then proceed to the checkout. Okay, so this would be, again, a fairly standard checkout page. Nothing really to talk about here. All right, so now comes the fun bit where we're going to open DevTools and see what's going on behind the scenes. As I said, I already feel that the website is a little bit slow, but let's just see what's going on behind the scenes. So let's go back to the main page, open up DevTools, zoom in a little bit here. Let's actually clear everything from the console, start from scratch and refresh. Okay, so we get some jQuery errors. We get, again, some messages printed to the log. Again, if you remember from the previous review that I've done, I'm really not a fan of that. And okay, so let's go to all watches, for example. And we already get an uncaught error, a type error here, get search result number, doesn't work in analytics, in custom. Okay, so there's a bunch of JavaScript errors, again, on a production website. And oh my God, look at what happened to the watches? Oh, I think okay, that's going to be interesting. So let's click on the device toolbar here. So this is how it would look on mobile. Let's see what happens if I select an iPad Air. Okay, so the image, I don't know why the images looked squashed there. iPad Pro, okay, that's even better. iPad Mini, wow. Don't visit rado.com using your iPad Mini. I think they have something incorrectly set for the images. In fact, these are responsive images that don't seem to be working. So this is really bad. What happens if I just go responsive? I think this is where we're going to see that. So as you shrink the screen, there's a breakpoint at 768 pixels where they change, or 67 rather, or thereabouts, where they change to a different responsive view. Okay, I mean, that's no one has a screen which is just 200 pixels wide, but anyway. But this is absolutely terrible, unfortunately. So you get these squashed images. What happens if you make this really large? Okay, nothing. So they keep the spacing, but then, yeah, this is definitely not good. But anyway, let's take a look at some other things in here. So let's come out from this one. Let's go to the network panel. And let's just clear all these requests, click all, and refresh this page, for example, to see what we get. So just by looking at this, there's an awful lot of JavaScript being loaded. So there are 296 requests. And if we filter this for only JavaScript, so 206 out of the nearly 300 requests is just JavaScript files. And they're very small, a couple of bytes here and there. But that's a lot of JavaScript to do something. I'm not even sure what this is trying to do here. So they definitely use Require.js, which is an interesting project. If you want to check them out, do so. They have mixins, we have animate labels, they have a bunch of polyfills. What's the largest JavaScript that they load? let's see. So there's an OT banner, it seems. And then Google JavaScript, there's a legacy build in here. I think this is using Prototype.js. This is some old JavaScript in here all over the place, which is very interesting. But let's also take a look at the images, for example. Okay, so the images show up as AVIF and WebP, so they are definitely doing image optimization, which is really good. So for example, this particular image is only 600 kilobytes. Maybe this could be optimized a little bit further, I feel, but I'm sure they checked these, and yeah, most of these images are AVIFs as well. Now, what I'm curious about is whether they do lazy loading. So not really, as it seems, right? Because maybe I was just too slow. So let's try to go. Can I list more images per page? No, I can't. So let's just refresh this again. Clear everything. Start scrolling. And they load a bunch of images, which is very difficult to. They load these random GIFs as well. There's a loader that got loaded. There's TrueSquare, which is the last one. So maybe they do some lazy loading, but it's very difficult to tell at this point in time. And then the last test that I would like to do is going to the network panel again. So we're here, switch to fast 3G and just see how fast this page loads on the 3G connection. There's a text here that says menu. I can't remember that being here. I think there's just a placeholder for where the hamburger icon is supposed to be. Yeah, it just got swapped out. I'm not going to lie to you, this website feels a little bit strange. Let's see what happens if I open up a particular watch. Again, I get the text menu here, which will later on get swapped out. Yeah, the images, yeah, they don't load super fast, do they? On the 3G connection, mind you, I'm still on a 3G connection. But this site definitely requires patience. So let's go to PageSpeed Insights as per usual and see what we get when we test this particular website. So rado.com. And actually, let's check the Singapore website because that's the site that I was on. So let's click Analyze. And let's see how the core Web Vitals assessment is. Well, they are failing it on mobile down to interaction to next paint, which is something that has to do with JavaScript, and there's cumulative layout shift as well. And on desktop, they are also failing it because the largest contentful paint is in the orange. Yeah, so most of their metrics are in the orange, so they definitely need to work on this. Again, kind reminder for anyone watching this video, as of today, not passing your core Web Vitals assessment means that your search page ranking can be hindered. Okay, performance 71, at least accessibility best practices in SEO are really, really good. And on mobile, the performance is really, really bad. But we did see that, right? We felt that it was a little bit sluggish. Yep, they're not deferring off-screen images, and there's some other things that they can do in here. So all in all, if I were to summarize my experience on rado.com, I would say I have mixed feelings. The overall aesthetics of the website, nothing special, fairly simple site with these squashed images. They're going to definitely get a -1 because I just felt that wasn't really tested, the responsive images. Otherwise, the shopping experience, that's relatively good. The geolocation, the fact that they found that I am in Singapore, that's good, but then they offered me to go to the Hong Kong site because they thought I'm in Hong Kong. Then there was the redirect issue from when I wanted to switch from the Singapore site to the American site. I also didn't like the amount of JavaScript that they are trying to load. Maybe that's because of how the site is structured and how the architecture is done. But regardless of that, I have a gut feeling that the whole performance issues and the fact that they don't pass the Core Web Vitals assessments on mobile, not on desktop, would have to do with that. So overall, I'm going to give them a -4 value, rado.com, you can do better. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below if you would like me to review a particular website. Give me your experiences about visiting websites, especially for watchmakers. I would be happy to make a video with them. Otherwise, please give this a like, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.